everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Today we're making a Christmas card. We're using some Spellbinders Club kits. We have the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club kit from Spellbinders called Cue the Merry. It's for June 2026. And then we also have the large Die of the Month Club kit called Merry Shuffle. If you guys are a fan of Spellbinders Dancin' series, this is the perfect die set for Christmas because it creates a kinetic motion with our little Santa. His legs move back and forth. And we're going to make a card that does just that. Let's jump in and get started. I would call this card a 5-step card. And we're going to start with step 1 and do our die cutting. We're going to go with traditional colors today. And we're going to do a little die cutting. I'm going to bring in my Scout and we'll just die cut together. I'm going to start off with the mirror cardstock and we will run this through. This is going to die cut out 3 of the light banners. Okay, so those are our lights. For black, we have the black boots. For his face, I'm bringing in an older Spellbinders Color Essential cardstock. This is Barely Peach. Okay, and then we have all his body pieces. There's 4 of them. We're going to run these through. There's his legs, his arms. Are we going to do the hat? Yeah. The hat and the gloves, and then his main body piece. And then we have the remaining pieces for his beard and for his coat cuff and his hat. And then there's his mustache and his facial features are here too. We had to take our little kitty to the vet the other day. She just wasn't eating, and the doctor couldn't understand it either. But she is feeling a lot better because she's wanting to go outside and we don't want to let her go outside. It's been raining anyway. So you may hear her in the background. Okay, I'm going to keep these little pieces. Now, this will cut out a whole bunch of ornaments. Okay, and so I have a whole bunch of different colors of cardstock. And we're going to die cut out lots of ornaments in several different colors. So this may take me a while, so I'll do that and I'll be right back. I die cut out all my bulbs. I have my little piles here. I did 6 different colors of the bulbs, and I'm only going to use 2 of each. Okay, the rest of these bulbs we're going to put aside because I'll use these on my next card project. We're only going to use 2 of the light bulb strings. I guess they could be ornament strings. And what we're going to start by doing is layering them together. So now our string is a little bit longer and it's slightly curved, a reverse S shape. I'm going to add some glue, and then we'll place our ornaments here on the string. And then our third little ornament, our light bulb string, we're going to put aside and use for our next card. Okay, let's go ahead and build our Santa. I mentioned that he is a dancing Santa, and that's where this little mechanism comes in. You see the little hole? The boots, will cut out the elf boots and Santa's boots also. We're going to add a little glue behind the Santa base, and then we're going to add this piece here. You know where to line it up because there's debossed detail. There's this. Now Santa's gloves die cut out when you die cut out the hat, and I wanted the hat to be red. So I'm going to take a black marker just so I don't have to re-die cut it out. I'm going to use a black Copic marker and just go over the red. And then hopefully I did the right ones. That was pretty fast and easy. And then we can go ahead and layer those black gloves over his hand. Okay, and then there are these little white cuffs. I guess I'm calling them gloves, and I shouldn't because they're mittens for sure. Okay, those are done. We're going to do the same thing to Santa's boots. We're just going to add glue. This piece here is the cuff of Santa's hat, and it's also the backside to Santa's face. Okay, let's go ahead and line up Santa's face. There's a debossed area, so you know where to line it up. Okay, and then I'm going to use my pokey tool, and I'm going to poke a hole here where his eyes are. And then I'm going to take a black marker, and I'm just going to add some black here. And then we can add some glue. And then his eyes are all colored in. Okay, this piece, we're going to add a little bit of glue here. Now we're going to add the top portion of the hat. It goes behind. And then we can add our little Santa hat pom-pom. For Santa's nose, which is here, I'm just going to use a pink marker and color that in. I'm using my RV10. And then rather than adding his cheeks, we're going to use a marker to go over his cheeks. For me, it just makes it a little bit easier. Now, I do want a little dimension to Santa's beard. Spellbinders has some awesome micro squares. Micro squares are really tiny foam squares. I have barely put a dent in these. And I just love them. It's perfect for small little places. And there we go. Then we can add his Santa stash. I'm going to add a little glue. I guess I should have added, maybe we should have added Santa's beard first, but we're going to go ahead and tuck his beard underneath his stash here. Now we attach Santa's beard, we're going to go ahead and add a foam square here, and we will pop up Santa's face. And you know, I think I'm going to pop up his arm too. So I'm going to bring back those little micro squares, and we can add a little dimension to his arm. Now, eventually Santa's body will go under here, and he has some pretty scrawny legs. But I think he looks so cute. So that's our Santa. We'll put this to the side, and let's work on our home panel. And we're just going to layer these two together. And that's all good. Step 3 is my greeting. Let's bring in our stamp set. I'm going to take the greeting that says, "Let's light it up," and I'm going to stamp it directly on my home panel today. Use my VersaFine Clair. I'm going to stamp it up here. And that's all there is to my greeting. Now we're going to move on to our background, which is step number 4. And for my background, I'm going to bring in a stencil from Simon Says Stamp. This is called Brick Walls. I have pixie spray behind here, and we're going to stencil directly on our card base. Okay, so I'm just going to add my stencil. Any kind of brick stencil you have would work. And then I have several colors of ink. I have Cabernet, Clay, and Honey. All of these are Simon inks. And we're going to add some color. I'm going to hit and miss on my stencil. I always kind of like to go in a triangle. Next we'll add clay. Lovely. And then finally we're going to add Cabernet. Cabernet is really bold, so I'm going to overlap on them. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off my stencil while it's on my background here. Okay, and then we can take a look. I think that's going to create a really fun background. Now we're going to assemble all 4 steps. We're going to go ahead and add our panel. This is Light It Up. Okay, and now as far as our dancing Santa goes, I'm going to lower him as low as I can get him here. And I think this is a good spot. I'm going to bring in a small foam square. And we put that right in the middle of the square. Then we can put foam squares behind Santa. I'm just going to use 2, one for the body, but I'm going to have to double up on the head of Santa, and I'm going to tilt him. We will tack him down here. You can see I don't know if you could tell, but you can see how easily his legs hang. My idea is to make Santa dangle from some lights. I thought that would be really cute. So for the lights, I'm going to bring in more of those micro squares. Trim off the top light. And I'm going to put these bulbs to good use. Let's go ahead and attach these here. There we go. Kind of extending it a little bit. We did a little light surgery. Now for step number 5, we need some bells and whistles. I'm going to bring in some of my glitter glue. This is my diamond stickles. I'm going to go over these light bulbs. And now we have some nice little sparkle on those bulbs, and that will finish off my card today using a couple of Spellbinders Club kits. I'll be back, maybe not tomorrow, but the next day, either tomorrow or the next day, with another card project using some more of those bulbs. And I love the Christmas tree in the set, so we'll be using that in our next card. But I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.